Okay. My topic on substance abuse was about aerosols, anesthetic gases, and other inhalants. So, some examples of these things are like markers, sprays, gasoline, propane, paint thinners, whippets, and like nail polish remover. That wasn't all of them, but that was kind of just the most common ones that people use. So, you're just able, so half these things you can just go buy at a Walmart. They're common items and they all, or most, I guess most of them have like just really common daily uses. So they're not illegal to have, but you can still get effects from them. So, and then for the anesthetic gases, the drug that's used in those that can be abused, it's called nitrous oxide. And that is the same drug that is used in the whippets, and those things are just like aluminum cans that are filled with that drug, and then people inhale that, and they get effects from that. So that drug, it's illegal in a lot of states to use it recreationally, but it's not banned because it's used for like anesthesia purposes. So like here in South Dakota, it's highly regulated, but it's not illegal to have. But then if you use it recreationally or if you distribute it for that purpose, it would be illegal. So when I looked at like jail time and stuff, it most places said it was like usually about 6 months in jail or like $1,000 fine or something close to that. But but only if the state if it's illegal in that state. So that's just South Dakota. And then going back, that drug is the same thing that's used in like whipped cream cans and other things like that. So those obviously aren't illegal to like own a can of whipped cream, but it's the same drug. So people get the effects from that too. So yeah, so the way people abuse all these things is they just inhale them and they get the effects that way. The effects, it kind of just varies on, I guess, how much people do and probably what they inhale. But generally, it's like similar to alcohol or sedatives or like some spots I looked at. It said it can feel like the early stages of anesthesia, which makes sense because that drug is used in anesthesia. So it's like a short. It said short-lasting high or euphoria, or people get like feelings of warmth or excitement, and then side effects of like using those things: lightheaded, drowsiness, dizziness, having headaches, blurry vision, agitated or angry or feeling angry. And those are just like mild short-term effects, but there's also moderate ones that are just in the short term, like nausea, vomiting. They can be moderate, and then severe ones that are short term are like it can just cause heart failure or cause people to stop breathing. So that's pretty scary. That's just a short term effect. It's not a long term one. But long term ones can lead to like damage to the brain, nervous system. Other organs like the heart and lungs can be affected. So using those things long term can lead to some pretty serious effects. And then looking at the use rates of aerosols and inhalants and the gases, this says it's in 2023, less than 1% of people that were aged 12 or older use those things. But then another site I found, it said that it was 5% for people of like the same age range. So I mean, either way, they're not very common. But one thing I did find was that it was more common in like younger people, eighth grade, like if you're around 14 was the site. It said that 4% of people aged just 14 used them in the past year. So I guess they're more common in younger people, maybe because they're just easier to obtain than I mean, more serious drugs and stuff like that. And then one thing that I found on crime was that people you can only get the anesthetic gases in places that use them. So, like hospitals or probably like dentist office, people would break into them and steal that gas to, I guess, just use for themselves. But that wasn't very common, so not really any crime related stuff. And I think, yeah, I think that was everything.